Hello there, welcome to Cartooning with Paul. Today, I'm going to teach you how to draw Uncle Scrooge. So come on, let's get started. Hello guys, welcome back. Like I said, today we're going to draw Uncle Scrooge today. But we're going to draw Uncle Scrooge like he looked in Mickey's A Christmas Carol, which is my absolute favorite Christmas special every year. So we're going to get started right now by, you guessed it, drawing a circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to remember that we're going to draw his whole body in this. So I am going to keep that circle kind of on the smaller side so that we can fit the whole body in. I'm going to have him looking this way, but before we do any of that, we need to figure out how to angle his body. So if we've got his head here, his line of action is going to be kind of angled like this. Because he's a duck in the Disney family, his body isn't angled the same way everybody else's are. So his backside has to be drawn kind of like this. So we've got a circle here, we've got a circle here, and then we're just going to connect them like so. Donald Duck's body is like this, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Daisy, and Uncle Scrooge. Okay. So we've got this arching back, like that. We've got his line of action, we've got his head in here, and then we've got to throw in where his legs are going to go. So we got one leg here and one leg here. And then his feet are going to go right in here like so. Now, being a duck, his webbed feet are triangular in shape on an angle. We got that one there like that. And because we have this one like this, actually, I'm going to flatten it out a little bit more, because this one is going to be angled like this. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up to the head, and I'm going to draw in my vertical axis right here, and my horizontal axis I'm going to keep kind of low, because his bill comes right out from here, and we got to keep that nice and low on the head. And then I'm going to leave placeholders for his eyes. One here like that, and one like this. So far we're drawing what Donald Duck would look like, and then we're going to alter it a little bit with the details. With him looking this way, we're going to throw in a real rough shape of where that bill's going to go. Just like that. His mouth will be only slightly open, so it's not going to go down too far. And now that I have that in, let's throw in the shape of his head, which does follow the circle. But then we're going to give him that shaggy hair on either side. Instead of having a couple tufts over by his cheeks, he has this wild, dark brown-like hair that comes from both sides of his head. So we've got that there like that. Continue that height for his hair over on this side. Now, Uncle Scrooge is making quite a comeback lately with his new version of DuckTales on the Disney XD. But the real reason I decided to draw Uncle Scrooge today was it came by request from a YouTube friend of mine, Emil. Emil lives overseas and actually has his own YouTube channel. It's called The Sketch Vlogger. So he just did one of Uncle Scrooge, and it's inspired me to do one as well. So what I'm going to recommend, once you're done with this video, go check out the Sketch Vlogger channel. I'm going to put the link to his channel in the description. There's not a lot of English spoken on the channel, but that doesn't matter because watching him draw is it's very entertaining. He draws some very beautiful sketches. He keeps it nice, light, and loose, and then he goes back in and he cleans them up. He did an awesome job on his Olaf video recently, where the drawings are so good, I would swear that Mark Henn drew them at the studio. So do yourself a favor, check out Sketch Vlogger, and say hello to Emil for me. All right, so let's dive back in. Okay, so now that I've got the head kind of figured out and the body kind of angled here, I'm going to put in his arms. So I'm going to have him resting on his cane. Okay, yeah, no, that's right. All right, so we'll do that, and then we will angle his hand like so. So we've got his hand in here. We're going to throw in his cane, just like so. And his other arm, we'll angle it like that. We'll draw his hand in a fist around the end of a big sack that he's carrying over his shoulder. And now let's dive into the expression on his face. Now, when Uncle Scrooge is playing Ebenezer Scrooge, he is extra bitter, right? He's kind of angry at life. So we're going to go back into those eyes, and we're going to give him a furrowed brow. And now that I've got that in, I will clean up the shape of his eyes. I got that one in like that. And we'll have this one kind of mirror a little bit. Just like that. Okay. All right. Now, we'll give him his beak. Just like so. Now, let's go into the bill. Now, let's see. I'm going to curve it in like that. And curve it like this. And now the front of his bill, it kind of curls up a little bit, but because we're drawing him head on, it looks like this. Not being very descriptive in this one, am I? All right, let's see. All right. Now, I told you that we're just going to have his mouth open slightly, right? We want to make sure that the width of his lower lip is just slightly thinner than his upper lip. So, let's bring it in like that. And then we're going to cut into that to give him his lower lip, like this. Now, because he's Uncle Scrooge, his glasses are two ovals that rest at the end of his bill, just like that. He's Ebenezer Scrooge in this, so we're going to connect those two just like so. And to take care of any confusion here, I'm just going to color in his pupils. But I'm also going to push them a little further over in the corner of his eyes here. He's looking back at somebody with disgust. Let me erase some of these lines here. Clean it up a little bit, but only a little. I don't want to lose what I'm doing here. I don't want to erase too much, because there are some that tell me that if I clean it up too much, they can't go back and take a look at what I've done. So, because this is Ebenezer Scrooge, the tufts of hair on the top of his head are longer. Just like that. All right. All right, so now let's put in his clothing. Now, because this is Ebenezer Scrooge, he's wearing a long coat. So that sleeve is nice and thick. Draw a little wrinkle there. And we'll follow the shape of his body here. Now, even though I drew in his tail, that coat goes over his tail. You won't see it in this drawing. We're going to remember that the coat opens in the middle here. All right, so we don't see his tail because he's wearing this really thick coat. So that'll cover his tail. Now that I've got that in, let's throw some detail in his legs. He's wearing spats, as Mr. Scrooge often does. So those spats are going to go over his foot. Just like this. Let's give him his 3 toes. And let's just do that like that. Okay. So it's going to be designed a little differently on the side. So let's throw in his toes first. Nice and thick and rounded. Right? And then the spats are shaped like this. Okay, and they come up his leg like that. And they're a little curved at the top here. All right. Then, let's give him a more dynamic pose with this leg. Yeah, I'm feeling like that looks better than before. Okay, now because his coat is open, the other side of his coat is going to drape downward. So, let's draw it like that and make sure it looks like it's open. And let's go back into this hand. I know I'm jumping all around. I'm kind of getting excited on this one because it's turning out better than I thought it was going to. And frankly, it's for my buddy Emil. So I want to make sure that I do a good job on it. Okay. So with his hand cupping over his cane, I'm going to draw it like that. And then the other hand, it's a really easy pose here. I lucked out. Like that. And his scarf wraps around his neck like this. But then we have the top part of his scarf coming out from under it, just like that. Very fancy design work here in his character. Okay. Alright, so now, so that I don't confuse the drawing, let's erase some of these lines. So, let's draw in the big sack that's over his shoulder. Alright, so now we've got all of that in. I think we're missing one more final ingredient here. His top hat. Okay, so if we're going to add a hat onto Scrooge, what we're going to want to do is take the existing shape of his head. So when finding the shape for his hat, we have to remember he's kind of facing downward a little bit and to the side. So we're going to push the brim of the hat downward. And then I'm going to take this shape and add in that top hat. We want to draw a nice short oval. We've got the hat shape in, and then now to draw in the brim. The brim comes out about this far, just like that, and it's got to go all the way around. It's got to be even. And now the top part of the brim, because he's facing downward, we don't want to push it too far. So we'll do it like this, and push it around like that. All right, he's got a band around the hat. Whoops. Let me erase the tufts of hair inside there, because now we've got a hat on him. Okay. You got to make sure that that line is curved so that it shows that it's a rounded hat. And there we are. And now, next thing we do, throw in our signature. And that shows we're done. Okay, I just dropped my How to Draw Sven video only a couple days ago. I already have an art submission on this. Check this out. Brought to us by Savannah. She took my drawing and gave it a really cool color scheme. So check out the color palette on this drawing. Obviously, she's seen Frozen 2, and this is a cool color combination that's got to be from the song he sings with Kristoff. Very cool. Savannah, very nicely done on this one. Thank you so much for sending that to me. Emil, I want to thank you again for suggesting this video. Guys, he just did a great How to Draw Uncle Scrooge on his channel, Sketch Vlogger. I'm going to put the link to his channel in the description. Go check out his work. It's beautiful. Guys, thank you so much. I've got some other videos over here. I've got a Teespring account, and the link is in the description. Threw on some new t-shirt designs, so go check those out. I want to thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, we'll see you later.